Hello YouTube, what's going on? Alright, so you've decided you want to go vegan. Now the question is, how do you do it the right way? So, if you've ever seen online, people will say like, oh, veganism is a starvation diet. And they'll point to all these different people who go vegan and they lose a ton of weight and they get sick and they're unhealthy. And those people are well-meaning, but don't understand nutrition. That is why they get sick. That is why they get unhealthy. It has nothing to do with veganism. I've been vegan for 10 years. When I made the switch, I didn't lose a pound of weight. I didn't want to lose any weight, by the way. I was the same exact body weight, same exact muscle mass, same exact strength. The moment I decided, I didn't lose any weight, and it's because I have a really good understanding of nutrition. I knew that if I were going to switch and be vegan, that I had to replace all the calories I was about to lose from dairy, from like eggs, cheese, from meat, from like proteins and fats. I was just going to replace them. If I needed to eat 3,000 calories a day, I was still going to eat 3,000 calories per day. I was just going to find new ways that are vegan in order for me to do that. What I normally see is if someone does not have a great understanding of nutrition and they want to go vegan and they do it, they don't replace what they had. So now if they were supposed to be eating 2,300 calories, now maybe they're down to 1,700. And now that they're down to 1,700, they lost, over the course of a couple months, 5 to 6 pounds. They have less energy, they feel tired, but that's why. So I intuitively understood all this. So the first thing I did when I went vegan was I went to the grocery store. I like having cereal with milk for breakfast. So instead of dairy milk, I found vegan milks. There's a ton of them. There's an almond milk, there's a cashew milk, there's an almond cashew blend. There's ones that just have like pea protein and they taste fantastic. There's a bunch of different kinds. For lunch, I like to eat sandwiches. Instead of eating like deli meat that was like turkey or ham, I found vegan deli meat. This is the great thing about going vegan in today's world. In today's world, there is a replacement for everything. There are chicken wings, there are steaks, there are ribs that are all vegan, there's sushi that's vegan. Like literally almost anything that you eat, there's bacon that's vegan, lunch meat, you can replace it instantly. So that would be the first thing I would recommend. You go to the grocery store, your favorite foods that you eat, you find the vegan versions of them, and you go with that. And here's the great thing. The vegan meats have a very similar macronutrient profile. So if something that you eat that's meat has like 200 calories and 20 grams of protein, the vegan meat replacement is probably going to be really close to 200 calories and 20 grams of protein. It is so simple. Now, let me show you the protein powder I have. This is a new one I just got. They just send me shit. That's great. But this is a plant protein. Look at that. 21 grams. Most ones that are whey are between 20 to 25 grams. The calories on it, 170. Most whey proteins are anywhere between 140 to 180. So you have almost the same exact macronutrients. Actually, this one to me is even better because it also contains some fiber and it tends to be lower in saturated fat. So it's a really easy switch, honestly. You just have to know to do that. I just think that's like the most obvious, like straightforward thing that people tend to miss. Now, the other thing is people who are vegan tend to have lower levels of vitamin B12. And the reason for that is when you consume meat, you get some level of B12. However, these vegan meats are fortified in vitamin B12. So just they had that in mind when you switch over and want to go vegan, that if you pick up a vegan meat, that it's very likely this is someone who's going to need B12. So there is B12 that's fortified in it. However, most of the population tends to be low on vitamin B12. So my recommendation would be to still get a vitamin B12 supplement if you want to be extra careful. And then another thing that everyone should take, and again, if you just want to be careful, is creatine. The reason you should take this, whether you eat meat or not, is because the levels at which you experience most of the positive effects that come from creatine are at like 5 grams. If you eat meat, you might get 1 gram to 1.5 grams per day. If you're vegan, you get 0. So neither of them are reaching the levels that are most optimal in terms of the effects that you would experience from creatine. And some of the effects that you would experience from creatine are your muscles are stronger, they have more energy, so their endurance is also higher, so you're going to have a higher level of muscular endurance. And there's also cognitive effects that come with creatine consumption that reduce neuroinflammation, which is basically like your brain over time throughout the day builds up like some level of toxins, you know, when you get tired and stuff. This helps fight against that. So it actually is really good for your brain. And again, this is all assuming, you know, you're a healthy person. I think like the overall majority of people do not have issues with taking creatine, but I don't know, maybe there's one person watching who has very special dietary needs and maybe they should ask their doctor. I don't know. But that's how you do it successfully. It's not super complicated. It's just you're gonna lose a bunch of calories from not eating dairy, eggs, meat, and it's very important that you replace them. And the easiest, straightforward way is just buy vegan cheese. There's vegan eggs. There's vegan bacon. Replace what you were having before. And then if you find other things that you love, obviously you can add them in. If you're someone who just is part of the reason they want to be healthier, there are so many great fruits and vegetables that you can find that you could have every day. I throw a bunch in my shake. I have an apple with my lunch. I have blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, pineapple, mango, like on a daily basis. Blueberries. So hopefully this is all helpful. If you're looking for a trainer and need help, I am available. You can email me at matthewmcginley@live.com. If you're happy with your results and everything is going great, and you're looking for a protein powder that tastes great, like the one I have, I'll have a link in the description for 15% off from Orgain. This is the one I've been using for the last 10 years. I love it. Bye for now.